Good evening everybody, we are back with a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing a build entirely using Basegame. Now, I haven't done a build using Basegame in many years. Obviously since like expansions started coming out, I have been buying expansions, so I think this is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I'm hoping that I can make it look as good as possible. In my previous video, I did 5 pro tips that pro builders use in order to build in The Sims. I had a couple of comments where people were saying that they wanted to see me build entirely in Basegame, just based off of that tip alone, as I do think that you can make some pretty good stuff just using Basegame, so let's see if I can put that to the test and actually make something pretty good. So I'm going to start off by basically just sticking down the bases for all of our walls and stuff. I do want it to be 2 levels, but I want the top section to just be a bed with basically just looking over the living room. I think that should look pretty good. I do want this to be a build on the smaller side, so I'm probably going to try and stick to it being sort of a bit more of a tiny build kind of thing. I'm thinking something this kind of size. This will be our little bathroom here, and then we can drag it across, and then obviously this will be our main little kitchen area over here. Then I think it would be nice to have like a little walkway up on this side as well. I do kind of have this feeling that we'll need to drag out a little bit more though, just because of where I want to put the stairs. Then obviously upstairs wise, I guess we're just kind of putting the same exact thing in the top. I do actually think this might need to be pulled back just one more. Yeah, that should be a little bit better. So this whole section over here is what I'm picturing as the bedroom. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, it doesn't look the right size. Let's keep it pulled out, because otherwise if you think about it, the bed's 3 squares, so it'll look really funny if we do that. And then I'll pull this one out as well so that it still makes sense. So we've got quite a big bedroom, because this whole section up here is a bedroom, which means that we're going to be able to put in a little like work section as well, like a little mini office off of the bed as well. Okay, I think I fiddled it around a little bit more. I think that looks better. Let's go ahead and put in our roof. So I'm just going to do really bog standard this kind of roof all the way across. I did have an idea that I wanted to do like another one of these on this side, so I think if I whack one of those there, we'll then have to work out a way to just like combine them, which I'm gonna see if I can just like add this into the corner, and that should work. There we go. I think that works. Perfect. This is a very bog standard looking house at the minute. Let's make it a little bit more exciting. Obviously my concern here is that we now have to go in, and the base game section starts now, so I'm gonna have to change it over here to base game. I'm gonna have to remember to change it over as well, because if you ever copy an item, it immediately turns off all of your filters for some reason, which is incredibly annoying. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I keep an eye on that and don't accidentally include stuff that isn't in base game. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with just this little roof here. We can then go in and do our walls, and I do want them to be slightly different, like wallpapers throughout. I don't really actually know what kind of height I want to have this. I think I might lower this. We'll lower it for now, and then we'll see how it looks when we're doing it later. But I want our front door to be over here on this side, but I'm probably going to start our walls first, just so that I have an idea of what kind of color palette we're going with. What I was thinking is having it be a bit more of a modern build, and we could maybe have like brick on this middle part here. The only issue is it will continue up and do it up there, which is kind of annoying. Let's see if the idea that I have works. So it's basically to have all of that there, and then have it look a little bit different by having this in the center. I mean, I think it looks kind of cool, and then I'm trying to work out whether I want that top part to be white or not. I actually think it looks better without it. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, or actually I could fill this whole thing in and make this whole section brick. I might do that just to make it look a little bit different. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that. Okay, cool. Then we can go ahead and add in our windows and our door, and we can I'm basically just going to do the outside first, and then we can move on to the inside. Now, of course, I did copy something, and as you can see, I've got all of my packs back on again. So back to base game. We are going with a bit more of a modern build. I tend to find that it's a little bit easier to do the more complex challenges with like a more modern build. This one I think is actually gonna be a little bit more difficult, because a lot of the modern builds that you do involve packs. I would like a glass door. I'm thinking maybe just like this one. This one's quite nice. It does kind of look like a back door though, but I think it should work as a front door anyway. We've got like this one maybe. That one actually does work quite well. I don't know about the color though. Yeah, that color works better. So we'll put our front door here. Then we'll go ahead and add in our windows, as we are going with a bit more of a modern build. I'm trying to work out what would actually look good here. Something with less panels always looks better when you're doing a more modern build, so maybe something like this. Yeah, I think that kind of works if we do 2 there. I wish it was the other way around, though. It isn't an option for that. Oh, no, there is these ones. I like these more. Let's do those. So we'll do 1 there and 1 there. Yeah, that looks much better. Then I want to add some little flowers under them as well, which we have very minimal amount of, like, baskets of flowers, which is really annoying. Let's go with these ones. I think these look nicer. I'm going to add 1 there, and then we're going to do another one just right next to it here. We need some windows on this side over here as well. Do not ask me how you would get to watering those. I'm hoping that the rain will be enough. We could do the same windows just to keep with consistency and put them on this side as well. I do want them to make sure that it's a little bit higher on the one that's down here. Maybe raise that one up a little bit as well. And then we'll pop the flowers there as well, just to keep it looking the same. I'm just trying to work out if I want another little window here. I think if I did, I would want it to be a little bit different. I feel like this looks pretty good, the floor to ceiling one. Yeah, I like that. Cool. I think that's all those bits. I don't know whether I want to put any on the back section of the house. Might be better to just leave that. We'll leave it for now. Let's go ahead and do just the front garden area that we have here. So on this lot in particular, for some reason, it's really got like these little yellow patches, which I just think look real ugly. So I'm just going to go ahead and lightly press them all out because it just makes the lot look a little bit grotty. And then we can go in and do our little flooring. So the idea that I have for this is that we can just have a little path that goes all the way up this side part here and it adjoins onto the building here. And I just got to find a flooring that matches quite well. I think this one looks quite nice. Just don't know whether it needs to be... What else would work? Yeah, I think this one's quite nice. We'll go with this. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm just going to turn my grid back on and basically just follow this little path here. I really wish that they had it so that it could lock onto the grid when you're doing terraforming. It would be much easier. Don't know if you class this as terraforming. Go all the way over here and this part as well. How does that look? That looks pretty good. So there's our little outside section. Obviously, we do have a lot of little bits out here that we can continue to fixate on and just do a little bit more too, like add some plants and stuff. I was thinking what we could do is add a little outside bin if they have that. Yeah, we've got these ones, which we could just add one of these. I think it's a little bit big. Let's make it a bit smaller. Add it here. I'm trying to think of where we want the mailbox as well. I think let's put it there and then we'll put the mailbox here. The mailbox always confuses me as a Brit, and I'm like, why would you not just have a little box on your door where your mail can be delivered? Then let's maybe just add like a little outdoor plant or something as well. Oh my god, there's so limited amount of plants. This is going to be really difficult when it comes to the amount of plants that I actually include. How about just like this one in the middle? That looks okay. And then I wanted to do something with this part over here as well, where you've just got some little outdoor seating. I don't know if there's actually enough room. I did think that there might not be. So just go with bonk standard table and chairs. Oh, that one's a little too low. There we go. How does that look? Is that a bit too much? It might be. Might be better to actually do some plants. What if I put it out here? Or like over here maybe? Let's leave them out. I feel like they would have worked if there was a bit more space, but there's just not enough space for it. But I will go ahead and just add some trees though. Going with lighter plants, so lighter trees would be better. Things like those look pretty good. Then I might just add a couple of little flowers around here as well. Gonna change this up a little bit. There you go. I think that looks all right. Cool. Then I'm gonna go ahead and just add dirt all the way to the edge of this entire building. I will skip that part for you guys though, because that's not that entertaining. Perfect. Now we can go onto the inside of the house and actually start working on that. So I'm gonna start down here. Now the idea that I had is that this whole section is where the bed and everything will be. So we want to get rid of this flooring here just by doing that. Then we've got through there is where our kitchen is. Underneath here is the bathroom, and then obviously up here's the bedroom, and here is our little living space. So I'm going to go whack a bunch of lights around just so that we can see kind of what we're doing. The bit that I'm a little bit concerned about is that what I wanted to do is actually put the stairs along here leading up to this section up here, and I'm worried that they're not going to fit. So let's work out that first, because that's my concern. So I think I'm going to go with these ones, and then my plan was to put them like here. How does that look? A little bit straight up into the door. I wonder if it might be better to actually rotate them around like this, but then you still, it's really tight, isn't it? I should have thought this through before going ahead and adding in all of my extra bits. Another option that I could do is actually have it so the stairs go up here. So what we could do is remove this wall here and actually just put them straight up here, because we do have quite a big bathroom, so I'm not too concerned about losing a bit of our bathroom frame there. Although now it is a bit more of a weirder shape. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I kind of like that. Cool. And then we can go ahead and add in our floors and our walls. So I am thinking we're going with more of a modern build, so a good wooden floor would be better. I don't like a lot of different colors in my wooden floor, so I don't think that one's particularly good. This one's quite nice. I am thinking maybe a lighter wood would actually be better, or like something like this works quite well. Yeah, let's go with that one. So I'm going to go with this wooden flooring. We'll do the same thing in maybe each room, just for consistency, and it does kind of match up with that as well. Then obviously we're going to need doors, so we only need one door because it's literally just for this one little bathroom here. And again, something more modern would be better, but we don't have a lot of choices, unfortunately. I might just have to go with like this one. Gee, this one's a little bit better. Let's go with this one. Pop that there. Then in terms of walls, I was also again thinking just to go with the whole thing being white, just to fit with that more modern theme. I might change it for bathroom later, but we'll have a look when that comes to it. Now, when it comes up to our upstairs section, I'm thinking about using this glass fence here, because this one's quite good, and I do think I actually use this in some of my builds, and I think it looks pretty good. It still gives you a bit of privacy while you're up there. I'm wondering whether I should just add it into here as well. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. It kind of sections it off from the rest of the house a little bit more, but you can still look down and see everything that's going on down here. Another alternative is that I could use the slightly shorter one. How does that look? Actually, I think I like that more. The other one kind of felt like had like prison vibes. Yeah, let's go with the smaller one. And I'm wondering whether maybe it'd be better in white actually. Yeah, it does look a bit more modern in white. Then we can go ahead and start decorating. So I'm going to start with our little living room that we've got over here. Now the idea that I had is that we could have the TV on this side and then have the sofas over here. So I'm going to grab a little TV unit. The annoying thing is that the TV units I normally use are obviously in an expansion pack. So let's see if there's any other TV units that I can find that are still like quite nice, that aren't just the ones that they give you. We do have like this thing. This is quite cool. Obviously we're going with more modern, so that does kind of work. Let's put that down and see how that looks. And then we can grab our TV, which I'm going to grab just a big TV, or maybe it'll actually be a bit better if it was a bit smaller. How does that look? So I can either do that, or I can grab what I normally do is grab the small TV and just make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Alternatively, we actually make it a little bit less of a focal point. We do have this that actually came in a bundle, and this is technically Basegame because it was a free item that came, I think it was like with Christmas or something. Oh, yeah, it's designed by another simmer, Peacemaker. So it's technically Basegame, so I'm going to use that because I actually think that that looks a lot nicer. And I'm going to include the TV, but I'm going to do a little one, and we're going to put some plants and a little light next to it as well. Although the TV is very far away from where the Sims will be sitting, so I might change that after. Luckily, this plant that I literally use all the time is actually in Basegame, so I can use that without worry. We need a little light that sits on the edge, and what do we even have? I think this one looks quite nice, but it's not going to sit where I want it to sit. There we go. That looks pretty good. I think that's fine for now, just because then I can put a little picture or something up here. I am worried about the Basegame pictures. I think we've got quite a few though that we can pick from. We've got this one, which is quite expensive, which could look quite nice up there. We are going with a bit more of a modern sort of look, so a more modern picture would also work. I actually do like that one though, so I think I'm going to use that. Then we can move over to this side. So I think what I'm going to do here is obviously have quite a large sofa that goes all the way across here, and then we could have some little side chairs and things if I would like that. I think I might actually put the dining table here in this corner, just because we don't really have anywhere else to put a dining table on. I want the kitchen to be quite big. So obviously we're going quite modern, so a white sofa is perfect. Trying to find one that looks like still quite nice. Maybe like this. That doesn't look that comfortable though. Like this sofa. This one looks alright. Or we could just do this one, which is definitely modern. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that one. I think it fits with the room a bit better. Then if I pull this over a little bit as well, we can then add in a little chair here. I might have to like alter it in order to get it where I want it. Then we do have another chair that is literally like clearly meant to go with that other chair, and I'm just going to pop it there. We then need a rug, and I'm thinking something a bit more simplistic, like a plain design kind of rug. Something like this maybe. How does that look? Looks okay. I think maybe not that one though. How's this one? That looks a little bit better. I feel like the sofas do need to be a color. What if they were orange? I really like orange in like orange and white, and then browns in like more modern builds. I think this one looks alright though. I'm trying to work out where I want these sofas. If I pulled this in a bit more and then put it there, how does that look? A little bit odd. I wonder whether this needs to be rotated a bit, or if I could put it over here, I can rotate it this way. I think that looks okay. It just needs something here in this corner, or maybe this should be like over here, or does that ruin like the feeling of it as you enter because you're entering into a chair? I think it's actually alright. If I put something here that then has like loads of stuff stacked up onto it, that could work quite well. Especially as like I don't like blank walls a lot of the time in builds, so if we put like a bunch of clutter on top of a counter like something, then it should work quite well. But we're going with a bit more modern, so something I could either make my own thing or we could use a pre-made thing. But as we are in base game, we don't really have a lot of options in terms of like storage kind of shelves. Yeah, there is really minimal options, so I think we're going to have to maybe make our own, which should come out pretty good. I'm going to go with this wood, and then we're just going to stack like this. How does that look? I could do another one. No, I think it looks okay. We'll do that, and then I'm going to add a little side table as well, although we don't have anything on the floor here, which looks a little bit odd. I might put something like next to it. Then I did not realize that this was in base game, but I really like this item, so I'm going to include this over here. Maybe we put a lamp actually here. That could look quite good. I really like this lamp, but I don't think it's going to come in the color we need, although this one's not too bad. Yeah, let's put that there. Maybe we'll put a little plant next to it as well to make it look a bit more natural. Grab this little plant here and just put that next to it. How does that look? I feel like a lot of stuff's just like randomly placed in this house. I don't know whether that looks particularly good, but it'll be fine. Then we can go ahead and add in our additional little bit. So I wanted a plant on that side table as well. We could do this one because it matches the sofas, but it doesn't feel particularly modern. What about this one? Yeah, little flowers actually work quite well.
If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to like, share and subscribe.
Then we need to fill in all the clutter on here as well. Luckily, from the looks of it, there's still quite a lot of base game clutter, so that's perfect. I'm happy about that. I'm wondering whether we could maybe add additional clutter just by putting some little books there, although they do come in quite bright colors, but I think it doesn't look too bad. Then we need some little bits up here, so I'm going to add some books. We do have all of these books that I normally add, which is perfect. Just gonna put those all on the bottom shelf. Then on the next shelf, what can we put there? Maybe just like a little plant and then some books. I'm including quite a lot of plants in this build, but I think it's because we're doing like quite a lot of surfaces. I'm gonna put an even smaller plant. And then on this top part here, I'm actually gonna do some pictures, which I think a lot of the pictures I tend to use are actually in base game anyway, so it should be fine. So we're gonna use one of these, and we need another small one, which I think we have a very small one somewhere. Unless actually maybe that is in a pack, so I guess we're gonna have to use this one. Just gonna add it there. I'm gonna change the color of the frame so it matches. Then I want the tiny frame picture here. Perfect. I think that looks pretty good. And then we can move on to the other side where I did want to put a dining table. I think it's gonna have to be literally like a 2-person dining table though, because we do not have a lot of space. Obviously we are going more modern, so a modern glass table would be perfect. Then in terms of our chairs, what could we pick? Oh, I really like these. These are really good. Yeah, I'm gonna do these ones because I think these look really modern and they really work with the room. I'm trying to think if there's something I want on the table. We could put a tiny plant on there, but it would have to be quite small, or we could do some flowers. Actually, flowers look quite nice. Yeah, let's go with flowers. I think that looks pretty good. It needs to be more central though. Yeah, that looks pretty. I like that. Cool. I'm liking this so far. Let's move on to our kitchen, where we do actually have quite a big kitchen. I think I'm gonna just do L shape, so we'll just go in this corner here. That then allows us like quite a lot of space. Now, this is the part I'm concerned about. I'm worried that we're not gonna be able to get something good. We do have quite a lot of the, like, I definitely think I'm going to either use this or we'll use the more industrial, but we are going modern, so I think these ones will be better. Or these ones are also quite modern. I think I might actually go with this just to mix it up a bit, because they're still quite nice and they've got like a marble effect on the countertop, so I think that'll actually work. So we'll go with this one, grab a corner. Then I'm not too sure where I'm going to add things yet, but we'll work it out in a second. Fridge-wise, probably just bog standard fridge, right? We could go with this one. This one's quite nice. It matches the handles as well on these little counters that we've got. I do wonder, we do have these. I think this is the same pack. Yeah, and we could include this, which also looks quite nice. I'm starting to feel like these don't look modern enough though, which kind of annoys me. How do they look compared to the rest of the flat? Oh, the rest of the house. I guess it doesn't really match. We might have to change it up, which kind of sucks because I do think they look kind of cool, but I think we're going to have to use these ones. And then we could go with orange because we are doing orange as like our theme in this house. So I'm going to do a little one there, and then we'll do, I guess we'll do it across this section up here as well. I could just do a bunch of little ones like that. Then let's grab the orange from here. I am a little bit annoyed that it's got like a brown top to it. That's the only thing that's bugging me. Oh, well, there is actually a white one. Okay, the white one looks way better. I'm using the white one. So this is what it's looking like at the minute. I think it looks pretty good. It's a shame that we can't, can we get get the white orange version for this? No, which means that it does kind of have that brown top to it, same with all these little ones, but I'm not too fussed. I think it still looks pretty good. Then I am going to remove that just so that we can get an exhaust in there, and then let's pick our oven. Could go with the slightly more modern, like orange oven. I think that probably fits quite well. Then for our exhaust, I'm just going to pick this one. I do much prefer the white countertops. I think they look a lot better. We could also go with an orange sink, but I think we're then taking it into a bit of a weird place. Actually, can we get these in white? Ooh, okay, the white ones actually look way better, so I'm picking white instead, although that makes me not too sure what I'm going to do here. Actually, no, yeah, the white one does just look better. Okay, we'll go with that. I think that takes a little bit of the sort of garish orange out of it. It kind of feels a little bit too like 60s almost, or like 70s. I think I might also do it with this, just so we've got a splash of orange rather than it being primarily orange. Go ahead and add in our fire detector, which I'm going to put above this door here. Then we need to go ahead and do our decorating. So a lot of the stuff that I tend to use are actually in Basegame anyway, so I use this all the time. I'm going to pop that in the corner, and then I also use this. Then I'm going to stick a plant in the corner as well. There's our decorating, and then I might do more, but we do want obviously as many countertops as we can get. I'm thinking we kind of need a bin, but I don't know where I put it because I don't want to put it in the walkway. I think it's fine as is. We do have a bin outside, so it's not the worst. So I think that's pretty much our kitchen done. Don't really want to do too much else to it. So we can move on to our tiny little bathroom that we've got over here that is literally just 2x4. I am worried that this is going to be quite difficult to do. I don't think we're going to be able to include a bath, but I will definitely include a little walk-in shower because that would be perfect for a modern build. So the way I'm doing that is literally just adding in this little section here, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our windows, which I think we actually have over here anyway, and I'm going to want this in white. Then I'm just going to add one there, and we can actually get rid of this wall. I'm going to change up the flooring for this one section as well to something that's tiled, so just white tiles would be perfect, like this. I'm going to add a really tiny fence in as well, which we're going to have to make sure we can get that in Basegame. We can get this one, which I think works fine. Just add it in there. Perfect. Actually, now that I'm totally thinking about it, can I even do a walk-in shower without expansion packs? Because I did not think about that. We cannot. Okay, that's fine, I guess. We could just do it like, Okay, so I'm going to have to completely backtrack on that idea because that does not work. Alternatively, we do have this shower, which I think this shower is actually really nice, so we could just use this instead. Yeah, we'll backtrack on that. I cannot do that because we do not have a shower that you can just attach onto the wall. It's fine. We'll use this one because I think this one's quite pretty. And then we'll put the little toilet next to it, and we'll have a sort of like sink basin that goes all the way across there. I do want to include like some little surfaces where we can put some little bits on it as well. So I'm going to do that here above the little toilet. I'm going to do 2. Then I'm going to just have some little tissues, and then we do have all of these little bits for, I think they're supposed to be for like toddlers or something, but I think they work really well in bathrooms just because they are like little like caddies with extra bottles and things in them. Then I'm going to include these, and then finally just a little plant on that side there. Actually, maybe mix those up a bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to add a little rug in front of here. We will have to move that around once we've placed the little basins. We'll go with that color maybe. Then let's get the little countertops. So I'm going to go with just white for this, and we'll do 2 here. So I'm going to budge this up so it's in line. There we go. So put some little bottles on there as well as a plant, and then we can add a mirror to the back section. Let's see what kind of mirrors we've got. So like something like that would work quite well because it stretches out across the whole of the back section, but it isn't that big, which is kind of annoying. I don't think there's a lot of like big mirrors, so I think we're going to have to just deal. I'm going to add a little light above it as well. This one I think is quite good. Definitely more modern. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think we do need some stuff around this section here on this wall though. Maybe like, are the dressing gowns? Yeah, they are Basegame. Perfect. So we can add some dressing gowns here as well. I'm going to just add a white and a black one. So we've got 2 different varying colors. And I think that looks pretty good for our bathroom. So we can move on to our upstairs. So obviously we've got quite a lot of space upstairs. I do definitely want the bed to be in the center, and then we can put a little desk on this side so you can look out the window. And then we could maybe put our wardrobe over here. So let's see what kind of beds you can get in Basegame. Mainly when I'm building for these, I'm just kind of looking at like stuff that I would have used regardless of if I had packs or not. Like I kind of like this, especially for a more modern build, although that pattern is definitely not more modern. This is quite a modern one as well, but I'm not a massive fan of like the shape of it. I think this one's probably the best one to go for, just because it does kind of look the most modern. I'm just trying to work out what kind of colors I want to have it in. I think let's have it there so that it's the first thing you come across when you go up the stairs. The black one is okay, but we don't really have a lot of black in this room. Let's have a look and see how that looks compared to the rest. It actually looks pretty good. So yeah, let's go with that one. Then I'm going to add 2 little lights either side of it, because I think that makes it look a little bit more cozy, like, and also like a bit more like modern as well. I don't really know what kind of lights though, or we could just have like one set of lights above the bed, but I don't know if that would look better. Kind of makes it look a bit more like hotel-y as well when you do this. I think what I'm actually going to do is actually, let's add a picture directly above here. And I just got to pick a picture, maybe like something like this. This is quite modern, although I'm going to go back to doing it brown. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Then we can add the light to either side of the picture. Maybe like this and this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I want to add one side table on this side. Would prefer it to be a little bit of a smaller side table though, and they all seem quite big, so I might just make it small. That's kind of what I was thinking, but the orange doesn't really work. Just do it in black. How does that look? Doesn't look too bad. I feel like it looks a bit weird that it's only got one. I might have to push the whole thing over. This is actually a really cool house. I would love to live here. There we go. That makes a bit more sense. And now we can add a couple of bits to the actual side tables, but I'm gonna have to like raise them up just because I have changed the size. It's crazy that there's like no alarm clocks. Like, is this meant to be an alarm clock? I don't think so. It's weird. That means that we can't add like a alarm clock to the side, which is really weird. But I think what I'm going to do is actually just add maybe some books instead. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then we can go ahead and add in our other bits. So we're going to have a little desk on this side. Obviously we want like quite a modern desk, which should be quite easy, I'm hoping. We do have this one. This one kind of goes with the like dining table that we picked downstairs. Could also bring in some of the colors again. I do think we're doing like a little bit more blacks upstairs, so that kind of does work. Do I want it there or do I want it like here? I do think it looks better there, but now we don't have like a dresser unless I got a skinny one and put it there, which could work as well. But there, grab a nice modern little like computer there, and then we can grab a chair as well. We are going with like more dark colors up here. I think I might actually change that as well, just that we're going a bit further away from the browns and a bit more into like black tones. Added some little bits there. Then let's go look at wardrobes, and then we can try and work out how I'm going to do that. I'm hoping there's a skinny one. There is not a lot of skinny ones, so that's incredibly annoying. I might have to now rejig this around. Let's pop it there, or actually maybe it would be better here. Yeah, it does look a little bit better there actually. Let's do it there, and then we'll put the wardrobe here. We do not have a lot of options for wardrobes either, which is incredibly annoying, but I could do like this one along this side here, or we've got this one which is more modern but just looks a little bit ugly. So I'm gonna go with this one. I might change the color of it though, and I'm gonna like budge the whole thing over. I could make it orange so that it matches the color scheme of what we've got downstairs. I actually think that it works still pretty well because it's got the black edge to it. Then we need a mirror as well, which I'm gonna put here. Does this fit? Not particularly, looks a bit odd. Maybe like a standing mirror might be better. Could do another orange one, just put it like there. That actually looks pretty good. I might put a rug in as well, just underneath here. If I can find a nice looking rug. I don't really know what kind of color I would do it in though. Maybe just like a black one like that. That actually looks pretty good if I move it over a bit, like here. Yeah, I like that. Cool. I don't think there's anything else that I can really add to this build. I think it's pretty much done.
And there is our house entirely made in Basegame. I think this was a little bit of a challenge, but honestly, I think that the house came out looking super cool. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I think that my favourite part is actually the brick and white combination on the outside wall, but I also really like the fact that it's like a balcony where the bedroom is. I'm happy that we managed to fit like quite a decent amount of stuff into the kitchen as well. We managed to get like a good sized kitchen, and I think overall it looks super modern and looks pretty good. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post content like this every Friday and Wednesday at about 6 PM. I also post shorts the rest of the week. If you enjoyed this video, on the screen now is another recommended video, so check that one out too. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening.